Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike at smartoptiontrading.com. It is Sunday, the 22nd of November, and this is our week ahead. So, guys, I hope everybody's having a really nice weekend. For me, nice and relaxed, watching some football on the other screen here. So, let's go over what we're looking at this week. It is a short week. The first thing to remember is that it is a 3.5 day week. What that means is we trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The markets are closed Thursday, and they close at 2 o'clock on Friday. I am out Friday, so there'll be no room open on Friday. It'll be on your own on Friday. Typically, this is a bullish week. Now, does that mean it's going to be? No. But typically, this is a bullish week. We grind up, we get some funky action on Monday, and then Monday morning, everything turns around. We head up and we grind up. There's never a lot of action going on this week. Now, never had an event like this where we have vaccine news coming out, we have a pandemic raging. So we'll see how this plays out. From an economic perspective, consumer confidence on Tuesday, GDP on Wednesday, consumer sentiment on Wednesday, and really that's about it. No Fed speak scheduled. These guys are taking the week off. Hey, nice, about time they did that. And from a earnings perspective, not a ton, but there are some names to watch. Specifically, Best Buy, Dollar Tree always grab attention. American Eagle, Dell, Gap, Nordstrom, Autodesk, and John Deere. These guys will all be in play. You even have some China names reporting on Thursday. All right, so let's just go to where we are and let's go to the charts. And if you look at the SPY here, you can look at the close. We closed weak. Out week, we closed on the lows of the day, not quite taking out this range, but right into that range. And you can see here, we've dipped below it, but you see this range. So this 154.50 area, important spot. We closed weak. We went down further after hours. We're sitting here kind of hovering around. Let's wait for futures to open tonight at 6 o'clock. Just below the 8 day. You got a descending trend line here. The high of the day was on Monday. We came in, and we'll see if they want to come down again. The room to go down lower. First spot would be right around this 350 area. The next spot would be then if they come down here all the way to the 343, 345 area. Areas to keep in mind if the market wants to yank. If we're strong, we hold here, reverse, and then we look for a move to all-time highs. I'm going to keep it real simple. What else is going on? The Qs, very a little stronger this week. A lot of sideways digestion. You're seeing names waking up. Again, that tug of war. We've talked about this in the last couple of weeks. The tug of war between the vaccine news, which sounds promising, and the realization that we're in for a couple of months of very bad news before we get to there, and which one reigns. And specifically, a lot of people are very worried about what's going to happen after Thanksgiving, and everybody travels. And do we get another super spreader type of event that really just leads to lockdowns and shutdowns? Here in New Jersey, where I live, for what it's worth, our governor, who has been one of the stricter governors out there and has gotten a lot of criticism for it, came out and specifically said this week, I cannot, in good conscience, shut down restaurants and bars and gyms and everything else again without federal aid, or it'll be their death nail. So at least they're starting to realize what's going on. This is good news. So keep that in mind. From an IWM perspective, stronger. If this one continues to go, we go higher. Watch this one leading strong. Green on Friday when everything else was red. Never even hit the 8 day. Last time it touched the 8 day all the way down back here on 11/4 on election time. So strong move. We'll keep an eye on that. And the VIX here continues to go. It doesn't know what it wants to do, but it doesn't want to break down below 22. All right, so let's go to names. So where are we going to look at for names if we're going to go into this? First of all, I do want to watch the IWM. It's acting very, very strong. In the financials, in the XLF, there we go. Okay, you have this nice move up, consolidating, still holding the 8 day, choppy, but it got overextended. Watch this. If we're going to go higher, Fins are probably going to lead. JP Morgan, best in breed, trying to hang in there. Goldman Sachs has been stronger. Big move here. This one has room back to 230. Citigroup, very strong move back above the 200 day. If it takes out 52, this one can run back up to this 53, 54 area, see if it wants to go from there. So some strong moves in the Fins. Pick the name you like. They are trying to wake up, again, if the market goes. XLE, not a big believer in big oil for the long-term future of the world, but right now it's waking up. You can see this big move on the vaccine news. We held up. We made a secondary gap, and we're holding it. You need to take out the 200 day. Take it out. We can run. The best names there are CVX, Chevron, strong above the 200 day, Halliburton, Schlumberger. These are stronger names. COP with a nice move this week, doing some wake up into this. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Outside of that, you can look around to other areas. In biotech, AZN, you know they're going to have vaccine news coming. Only reason I point this out, if it wants to wake up before the news, you have this gap here that starts at 55.50. Worth definitely keeping your eye on this week as we move forward. BHC, this name is tough. We know we lost some money on it earlier, but again, over this 20 area can run. And the reason I keep pointing this out is because you have this long-term bottoming pattern that's starting to wake up. 20 is big. You can see this. 20 is a big area, but wakes up and gets above 20. This one can move. So another one to keep an eye on. And consumer staples, Coke, as long as it holds this gap, which it did the other day, watch for a move back above 54 and a breakout to highs. This is definitely a reopen play trying to go. Honeywell in the industrial sector, very strong chart. Join the S&P 5, join the diamonds, strong pop up, big gap up here on earnings move, and it's just holding it so well. You got to love Honeywell here. I know a lot of you guys like Boeing. It may be very simple on Boeing. Has to hold the 8-day. Loses the 8-day, it fills this gap probably down to the 187 area. And then at that point, we start looking at it and see if it wants to go higher. So we'll keep an eye on that. CAT remains a very constructive chart up here. If it wants to hold the 8-day, as long as it holds that, another one to look at. Closer to home, let's look at some of the stay-at-home names. Chewy, no earnings yet. Nice move back up. Takes out this 70 area. I think it can pop back up to 74. Any bad news, you watch Zoom. Zoom is waking back up. This move, it held the 100-day, pushing back up. You have this gap here right around the 450 area. One to keep an eye on. Peloton, another one I'll be watching carefully this week. Pushing back into this gap again on Friday. This one can pop up, fill this gap all the way up to here to the 122. Again, these are stay-at-home names. If they want to go crowd, you can put back into that as well. In the gambling area, you can watch DraftKings. DraftKings, a nice move from 35 back to 50, back on the 50-day. As long as it holds the 50-day, you can take longs off of that for a move higher if it wants to go. We'll see if it wants to wake up. Penn, much stronger, acting better. Just $5 now off the all-time highs there. In the retail space, Target, watch for dips to the 8-day. I've tried there. Costco, I want to keep my eyes on. At some point, where's my fingers? There they are. At some point, they're going to come back for this for a move in to get that $10 dividend on December 2nd. So we'll watch that one as well. Walmart struggling here. Why? This is what I always do. I type bad, guys. Sorry about that. Walmart, why? Because there's fear that Biden will not require TikTok to sell. And if that case, Walmart doesn't get it, and they could see some little bit of weakness into that. So I'd be a little bit more careful with that one as we move forward. Staying in retail, Lulu remains a strong chart. You have a downtrend break here, takes it out from Friday's high. It can move higher. Interesting one. Nike, this whole space also acting strong. UAA as well. Just pointing some stuff out to you guys. Pick what you like. We come back into the semi space. Let's go to China first. Let's do China first. BABA here. Nice wake up the last 2 days. Push up, gapped up, pushed. Now, first test is right around here, this 275 area in the 100-day and the 2 to 21-day in there. Then it has room to test this gap at 280, and if it wants to, it can pop up and fill that gap to 289. I'd keep that in my eyes. JD also continues to act very well. These are two of the few names in China I trust because we know they're audited. The rest of the names, not so much. In the semi space, AMD is trying to wake up. Came into the downtrend, failed there. If it pops above this area on Friday, from Friday's high, it can move, holding the 50-day, getting tight, looking good. Avgo, another name in that space, trying to wake up. We've seen rotation in this space. What that means is names like LRCX have popped to all-time highs. AMAT, right? Micron, believe it or not, Micron is close to a 5-year high. You know, this is one of my outperform names this year that didn't work out. Well, now it's starting to finally work, and here it is at that 52-week high of 64.65. So Micron trying to wake up, long way to go back to there. So, you know, take that out of your mind. But worth noting that Micron's waking up, and dips to the 8-day if it holds should be bought at this one at this point. Acting well. Amazon, the only reason I bring this up is because it's typically a very bullish week. I forget who in the room pointed this out to us, but somebody in the room sent us the stats on this. Very, very strong. Again, for me, it has to get above 31.75. Above that area, it takes back all the moving averages and makes it called even 31.80. Maybe it can rock. But we'll keep that on the radar this week as we move forward. In the gaming section, I do like EA. Again, stay at home name, gap fill. You have a lot of room to go up to 126. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And don't want to forget about FSO Netflix here. Netflix has a gap here starting at roughly 495 up to the 502 area. Then it has another gap to finish filling from 518 up to 521. So Netflix wakes up. That's when I want to be in. In the social media space, Snap, best in breed right now. Not saying they're the best company, just the stock. Look at it, held this gap, never touched it, pushed up, right back, close to all time highs. I'd watch that for a breakout. Square just missed by, less than a buck, all time highs here on Friday. I would watch this one for a move to take that out and maybe push higher. It's not hot, it's not extended at all. And that's my thoughts here, guys. So typically, very bullish week. I have some SPY calls that expire December 4th. I don't have a full size position, so I can add to it if we get weakness here on Monday. We'll watch the markets. We'll see where they rotate to. Names like Tesla, again, consolidating. Maybe it needs the 8 day to catch up. Maybe it sits here for a session or two. Watch if it dips and if it catches back up. But bottom line is the market, it's a bullish time of year. We'll see what it wants to do. Watch this week, and then maybe we get a dip, and then we set up later on in December. For what it's worth, the first 2 weeks to December always seem to be tough weeks before we get into that Santa rally. Just put that in the back of your mind. Everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy your Sunday. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow morning. Got my head reset. Looking forward to a 4 day weekend that'll really help. And let's go out and make some more money this week. Good night, everybody.